The Flex Quick Eject 1/4 inch impact driver. Does it really have 210 foot-pounds of force? We'll find out in just a moment. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Okay, if you're not aware of Flex Power Tools yet, it's the brand new power tool company that just hit the market. Now, the company itself, the parent company, has been around for a lot longer, for decades now, but Flex Power Tools is something somewhat new. Now, Flex is something known in the car polishing world, and then in Germany it's been around for a long time as well, and they make a large array of power tools. However, in the US, they've never really gotten into that construction market or automotive market of power tools other than in the polishers. Well, now they've released a completely new 24-volt line of power tools. We covered the launch event of that. We also covered their impact wrench as well. We'll have a card up here where you can link to it as well. But this is about their quick eject impact driver that they claim has 2,500 inch-pounds of torque. Now, 2,500 inch-pounds, you divide by 12, that gives you 208 foot-pounds. So yeah, right at 210 foot-pounds is what they're claiming it has for torque. Does it really have that in this little impact driver? Let's find out and see. Let's take a closer look at this. We'll look at all the features. Then we'll use this into some wood. We'll drive a few fasteners and then go over on our test bench and test out the torque specs and see what we find out. This is the brand new Flex FX1371, and it is their quick eject 1/4 inch impact driver. Now you have 3 speed modes or 3 power modes, and then 2 other self-tapping modes as well for self-tapping screws, so you're not stripping those fasteners. But basically you get 3 different speeds. You have 0 to 1900 RPMs, you have 0 to 2700 RPMs in speed 2, so you get a variable speed trigger, and then 0 to 4000 RPMs in mode 3. So very fast impact driver. Impacts per minute are up to 4,400 impacts per minute. Again, that's going to vary depending on how much throttle you're pulling in or how much trigger you're grabbing there on that variable speed trigger. Now, the name comes from their quick eject feature, which is pretty unique, if not very unique, specific to the Flex impact driver. In fact, they have another impact driver that doesn't even have this feature. So the idea here is you have a quick eject feature there. So if you have a bit in and you want to remove it, you don't have to take your hand off the impact driver. You can pull the button here and you'll see the collet move out, and now I can pull that bit out and insert a new bit, so you don't ever have to hold and cradle that to pull the ring out or anything like that. And then you can also just pull the ring out to do the same thing like you would on any other impact driver as well and operate the same way. But you do have that button right there on the front that's going to do that for you, make it easy to remove and install those bits. Get a pretty typical LED here down at the base. It's going to shine up on the fastener or whatever you're fastening, whether you're driving screws or removing bolts, nuts, what have you. You can get this kitted as you see here, where you get the 2.5 amp hour battery, you get a 5 amp hour battery, as well as the fast 160 watt charger. And this whole kit is $249. Now you can also get it kitted with the drill driver as well. That adds another $100. So for $349, you get this kit with the 2.5 amp hour, the 5 amp hour, and the drill, and that only adds another $100. But this kit, as you see it here, is $249. Comes with a 5-year warranty, but you can upgrade that to their founder's warranty for 2021, which will give you a lifetime warranty. Now, 2,500 inch-pounds of force equates to about 208 foot-pounds of force. We'll try that out here in a moment. We'll drive some screws into wood. Then we'll also put it on our test bench and actually test some of the torque. But let's get some measurements and some weights right here and just see what this thing weighs in with the 2.5 amp hour battery. So you're looking at 4 pounds, 1.5 ounces with the 2.5 amp hour. And let's slide the 5 amp hour on. So 4 pounds, 14 ounces. So almost 5 pounds with that 5 amp hour pack. So definitely not a light tool by any means, but this thing is driving a bunch of force. So probably that 2.5 amp hour, if you can get by with that, is going to be great. So now you're almost down to a 4 pound tool. As you notice, when I slide those battery packs on, it's just really easy to see from either side. You see you have 4 big green bright LEDs there. So if you push the button here on the front, you can easily see the status of the charge on your batteries. Now, as far as height goes on this, with the 2.5 amp hour battery, you're looking at just over 9 inches, so about 9 3/8 of an inch tall. As far as length goes on it, length you're looking at 4.7 inches, so about 4 3/4 inches from tip to tail. And then as far as width goes, at the widest point, 2.39 inches, so right at 2.4 inches on the impact driver. Let's go use this and see what we think about it. Okay, what we have set up here is a couple of pieces of 4x4 pressure treated, stacked on top of one another with just a clamp on it, so nothing screwed together right now. And so we're going to drive some of these 7-inch SPAC screws with the impact driver and see if we can't countersink them all the way down in these 2 pieces of PT. So let's change out this bit. Running a T40 bit. So we're in speed 3. Here we go. So no problem driving those 7-inch SPAC screws, and that's with the 2.5 amp hour battery. You see, looks like we've dropped 1 cell. Let's go ahead. Here's some 6-inch lag screws, pretty typical galvanized lag screws that you'd find on a construction site. So I'll remove our bit here, put in our socket, and let's just drive some typical 6-inch lag bolts. And one last one. Not quite. That's there. Okay, so what we have the impact driver with the 2.5 amp hour battery on here. You see we still have a full charge, and we're in mode 3, so we're ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to tighten each one of these nuts for 5 seconds once it starts impacting. Then we're going to take our torque wrench and remove those to get us a value of what the fastening torque is. Make sure we're tightened. Yep. Okay, here we go. Now we'll take our torque wrench, 230.4 foot-pounds, 210.9, 233.8, 246.6, 210.3. That's over. We're going to call that 250. And the last one, 231.9. I've never seen values like that on an impact driver ever, so that's definitely a first. Okay, we'll get those tightening values here in a moment, but let's go on to loosening torque. So we're going to start at 150 foot-pounds and go up from there. All right, so what we have here, again, we have the impact driver, we have a 2.5 amp hour battery. I have not charged this, by the way, so still have a full cell on here. And what we've started with is 150 foot-pounds, so 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, jump into the big ones, then we have 500, 550, and 600. We're talking foot-pounds now, not inch-pounds. They rated at 250 or 2,500 inch-pounds, which is 208 foot-pounds. So now we'll go into reverse and we'll see if we can back these off. 150. 200. Okay, so there's 450 foot-pounds on these smaller fasteners. So now we're going to jump to our bigger fasteners. Let me move you down. Okay, so we still have our 2.5 amp hour battery. We're down to 3 cells now. We're going to change out to a bigger socket. So now 500 foot-pounds. Okay, nothing with the 2.5 amp hour battery. So let's change that out because the kit does come with a 5 amp hour and it is fresh as well, should help. So 500 foot-pounds. Okay. Couldn't break through the 500 foot-pounds, only larger fastener. I'm going to back up and I'm going to tighten this one to 500 foot-pounds and see if on the smaller fastener if we can break that free. So 500 foot-pounds on the smaller fastener with the 5 amp hour battery. Okay, so as I said before, I let it hit longer than 10 seconds, but if you'll see, that socket was starting to move before that 10 seconds was up, so that's my cue that I will let it finish loosening that as long as it doesn't stop again, which it did. So it broke that free at 500 foot-pounds, but obviously when we jump to these larger diameter bolts, it just doesn't have the umph to quite do it, but still 500 foot-pounds from an impact driver, very impressive. Okay, driving lag screws and 7-inch spack screws were no problem into this PT wood. Drove them all the way through with no problem whatsoever, and that was with the 2.5 amp hour battery. Now, tightening torque. We have never seen an impact driver go north of 200 foot-pounds. I don't think we've seen one even get close to that. And that was with the torque wrench. So in other words, we tightened all of them, then we took our torque wrench and we backed those off, and the average was 230 foot-pounds. That was the reading on the torque wrench. We know it takes less effort to take a nut off than it does to tighten. So then we divide by our factor of 0.8, because it takes about 80% to release a fastener as it does to tighten, that gives us 288 foot-pounds of force on the tightening side. That is crazy, and that was with the 2.5 amp hour battery. Now, in loosening mode, you saw that it went all the way up to 450, no problem whatsoever. Then we went to the 5 amp hour battery. It would not break free the 500 foot-pound fastener on the big nut. But once we move back down to the smaller one, tighten that one to 500 foot-pounds, it would do it. But 500 foot-pounds of breakaway torque from this little impact driver, that is downright impressive. And that's no smoke and mirror show. That's literally tightening fasteners, then using this to break them free. So be sure to check it out for yourself. You can find it at flexpowertools.com, or you can find it at lowes.com or at your local Lowe's. And again, it's their 1/4 inch quick eject impact driver. Model number is the FX1371. $250 or $249 with the kit you see here. Now here's the deal. You get a 5-year standard warranty with this. However, if you buy this during 2021, you can upgrade to their new Founder's Warranty, which they're giving a lifetime warranty on these tools. Now, if you've heard some negative feedback about that lifetime warranty, they did get a little bit of the cart before the horse, if you will. We reached out to Shervon on this. That's the mother company. That's the parent company. And said, hey, it looks like your sign up for the lifetime warranty is not working. They extremely apologized and said, we're very sorry. We did get the cart before the horse, got a little bit ahead of ourselves, didn't have the website ready, but they do have the call-in number ready where you can call in and upgrade to that lifetime warranty, and they promise that the website will be functional very soon for upgrading to that lifetime warranty. So be sure to let us know if you find something different than that. Also, would you keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? If you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button? But only if you liked our video. If you hated our video, give us a thumbs down, but would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.